How's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man. So for those of you who do or don't know, 2017 marks 100 years of anime. I did a video about a month ago where we go over the oldest anime in history and why I personally believe it is the most important animation to ever be created. Links in that description if you haven't checked it out. But to celebrate 100 years of anime, the NHK, or the Nippon Hoso Kyokai, the Japanese TV station, decided to run this poll called the Top 100 Anime Series of all time. What they did was they basically asked otakus from all over Japan to vote on what they think is the greatest anime to come out in the last 100 years. And so I thought it'd be really interesting to go over this list and to kind of compare and contrast the difference between what Japan thinks is the 100 greatest anime series of all time versus what the rest of the world thinks is the 100 greatest series of all time. Let's start at the bottom 50. So as we can see, 100th place we have Tatami Galaxy, which is very interesting to me because I didn't think Tatami Galaxy is that well known in Japan. Tatami Galaxy, by the way, I think is a fucking fantastic series and I highly recommend it. And then we have Ganto Gon, never heard of it, from 1974. Macross, I think that's a movie of Macross from 1984. And then we have Akira, 97. What the fuck? I thought Akira would be way up there. But apparently it doesn't beat JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. Now, I love both, don't get me wrong, but I would have thought Akira is just one of those, like, timeless classics. I mean, it is from 1980. It's almost 30 years old at this point. So, really interesting to see that. In 93, we have Inuyasha. That's pretty good. I mean, Inuyasha is way more known in, definitely, I think, Japan more than the West. But then we have Kill la Kill at 92. That is also very interesting. What's more interesting than that, 91 is Mononoke. I am very happy about that, because nobody I know has watched Mononoke. I mean, in my monthly otaku collection of May, I showed you guys the giant figurine of Mononoke that I got. So now looking at this list, I can kind of see why, like, creating a figurine of Mononoke is justified. I mean, it did come out during the golden era of 2007, but it's just one of those anime that nobody had ever heard of. I mean, to be fair, I only watched it for the first time, I think last year or 2 years ago, and it's fucking brilliant. Like, one of the greatest horror series of all time. So I'm just really happy that Mononoke is 91. And then we have Hetalia at number 89, The Beautiful World. I don't know if that is the first season of Hetalia or if that's like a different season of Hetalia. I only watched the first season of Hetalia, but yeah, that's interesting, 2013. And then on top of that, we have Kekkai Sensen, which is, again, a series that I don't know a lot of people, like, internationally who know that series. I mean, I personally have never seen it, so I have nothing to say on it. But very interesting to see that that is number 88. And then we have Pokemon, the original 1997 Pokemon series, at number 85. That is so weird to think that the original Pokemon series from 97 is 20 years old at this point. I am fucking old. And then we have, at number 84, the original 1999 adaptation of Togashi's Hunter x Hunter. Not the 2011 adaptation, the 1999 adaptation. Number 83 on top of that is Anohana from 2011. And then on top of that, we have Kuroko no Basket Season 1, 2012. I'm not surprised about that, because Anohana is like a cult classic in Japan. I mean, you know, I did that whole video where me and my buddy Sol went to Chichibu, which is the town where Anohana is based off of. Vlog of that, links in the description. And I'm not surprised about Kuroko being, like, in the top 100, because even though it is a recent series, it is a huge, like, phenomenon in Japan, especially, like, for the female viewers. I don't know why. I personally wasn't really that invested into Kuroko. I mean, I'm not saying it's a terrible anime, don't get me wrong, but just, I don't know. I've seen better. It's a basketball anime. And then at number 81, we have K Project, which again is very surprising because I didn't think K was personally that great. We have that whole, you know, atrocity from Gohan Studios that is Handshakers, so I think that definitely put a dent in the, like, critical success of K Project, but I didn't think it was that big. And again, I think the reason why it is so high up on this list, I mean, it's in the top 100 out of all anime series ever in the last 100 years. So if you think about it, even number 81 is quite high up there. I didn't think K Project would be this high, but looking at the fact that Kuroko's 82, I think it's the same thing. It's like a lot of female otakus especially are super into K Project more than men. So it's kind of justified why it is up here. And then we have number 80, which is Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, which is an anime I'm still yet to watch, but everybody who has watched it has said it is fucking amazing. I know a lot of you are still pissed like, oh, Joey hasn't seen Showa Genroku yet. What the fuck are you doing? Stop everything right now and go watch Showa Genroku. I bet you already there is a comment down there that is said that in the exact words I just said it in, but I am gonna watch it because, again, I've heard so many people saying it's fantastic, and if it's number 80, then I guess the Japanese population also agrees, so I'll definitely watch that. And then number 79, we have Urusei Yatsura. Again, not a series that I know a lot of people have seen since it is from 81, but I personally fucking love it. For those of you who don't know, it's done by the same person who would later go on to do Ranma Half and Inuyasha. So if you like Ranma Half and Inuyasha, then go check out Urusei Yatsura. And then number 78, which is another entry I think is very interesting, Mushishi from 2005. Now, I can kind of understand why Mushishi would be up here because even if you look at it on the My Anime List top 100 anime series, Mushishi is pretty high up there. I think it's higher than 78 internationally speaking, but it's still cool to see that a lot of the Japanese otaku audience is like still heavily into Mushishi. Mushishi is one of those series where it didn't exactly like commercially boom, like it wasn't like extremely like mainstream, but it has a lot of die-hard fans and a lot of like critical success. Me personally, I fucking loved Mushishi. I only saw the first season of Mushishi, but it is absolutely fantastic and the manga is just as beautiful. I think for the same reason is number 77, which is Angel Beats. One of my favorites. It is fucking beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful series written by Maeda Jun. It's great to see that the Japanese audience also agrees. And the next few we have here are a little bit more older. We have number 76, Cardcaptor Sakura Season 2, which is suggesting to me that Cardcaptor Sakura Season 1 is going to be like higher on this list. Number 75, Saraba Uchu Senkan Yamato, which is, I think, the movie for Uchu Senkan Yamato. Not exactly too sure. 1978 though, so it's a much older series, so it's good to see the old classics are still up here. And then this is a really fucking interesting point of the list. Number 73, we have Macross F, which, you know, Macross is a mecha series and mecha is definitely much bigger in Japan. But then we have One Piece at number 72 and then Full Metal Alchemist at 71. You know, Brotherhood is like, of course, like way better than the original series, but still, it's interesting to see that they're kind of, I don't know, objectively lower on this list. I thought Fullmetal Alchemist and One Piece would be much higher up on the list. I mean, you know, they're still on the list, but it's just really interesting to see that they're kind of this far down. And it's also a lot more interesting to see that number 70 is Blood Iron Orphans, the Gundam series. I mean, Blood Iron Orphans is fucking fantastic, but again, it didn't make that much of an impact with the international audience because I think just the mecha genre, or at least the Gundam genre, is a lot more powerful in Japan. Then at number 69, we have Mob Psycho 100, which was my personal candidate for 2016 Anime of the Year, so it's good to see that it's up there. I was expecting some shit like this. Number 68 is the second season of Gochumo Usagi Desu Ka. Number 67, Haikyuu second season. And number 66, The Idol Master. Now that just in a row just goes to show how like much the kind of overall shape of the anime community has changed in the last couple of years. You know, shows like Gochumo Usagi Desu Ka is kind of appealing to like both the male and female audiences, like females being like, oh, this is so cute, and males being like, oh, this is so fucking moe. And then we have Haikyuu Season 2, Haikyuu being just a fucking like, it's just blasting off in terms of sports anime. From not only the female audience, but also the male audience. And then we have The Idol Master, you know, idol anime, just, you can't go wrong in Japan. It is a fucking just phenomenal. So I'm honestly not too surprised that these are on this list. But then we have, of course, the shonen side with number 65 Yu Yu Hakusho and number 64 Katekyo Hitman Reborn. I grew up reading both those series, so it's fucking awesome to see that both of these are up on this list. Oh, and then this is really fucking interesting. Number 61, we have Re:Zero. Wow, I don't know if it's because like this poll was taken early 2017, or because Re:Zero, you know, because Re:Zero is fresh in everybody's minds, or because Re:Zero was that like of a cultural like phenomenon in Japan, or at least in the Japanese otaku community because of Best Girl. But then we have number 60, the original Sailor Moon from 1992. And then number 59, we have Tenku no Shiro Laputa, the Ghibli film. I loved Re:Zero, Sailor Moon I grew up with, and Laputa is a Ghibli film. So all three of these are commercially and critically successful in their different departments. It's really like kind of trippy to see Sailor Moon and ReZero next to each other. That's really kind of cool. And then what's more interesting is on top of Laputa, number 58 is the second season of K-On! I mean, it's K-On!, like, you know, Moe is so powerful right now. And then, here's another really interesting one. Number 57 is Kimi no Na wa. I thought it would be way higher on this list, not at number 57, because one, it's fresh in everybody's minds. Two, it was a extremely commercially successful movie. Like, it's commercially, like, I think it's the highest grossing anime film ever at this point, you know, and it only came out last year, right? So I thought it'd be way fucking higher on this list. And I think, because like right now, Kimi no Na wa is like close to number 1 on my anime list. That's really interesting. It just goes to show that like the overall dynamic of the Japanese otaku community is so much different to that of the Western or international otaku community. And then reaching the bottom 50, we have number 55 is a series of Gintama. I'm pretty, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Number 54 is Kaze no Tani no Nausicaa. It's from 1984. Good to see a nice good classic, a nice Miyazaki classic on there. And then we have number 53, which I thought was interesting. Pocket Monster, or Pokemon Pocket Monsters, Diamond and Pearl movie. And then number 52, which is again another interesting one, is Shirobako. People who have seen it and people who love it, like fucking love it. And I know a lot of anime YouTubers who highly praise the series, as do I. It's fucking fantastic. But it's just kind of interesting to see that people in Japan also enjoyed it. It was kind of low-key when it first came out too, and there are a lot of people in Japan and, you know, internationally who have never even heard of Shirobako. So it's kind of cool to see that it's a number 52. And then number 51, this one actually makes a lot of sense, is Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso, Your Lie in April. It was a huge manga series, the anime adaptation was fucking fantastic, and it had a live-action movie to go with it. So that makes a lot of sense why it's at number 51. Alright, here we go. Top 50, or rather 11th to 50th. So we're at the top half of the list. Number 50 is Fate Zero, critically and commercially successful. A lot of people are fans of the Fate series, can't argue with that. Number 49 is the Girls and Panzer movie, which is again I think so specific to the Japanese otaku community, because like the international community, while there are a lot of people who are into Girls and Panzer, it's not as like explosive as it is in Japan. Like, it's one of those series that like not many people, I don't think, you know, internationally were very excited about when it first came out. And again, like, people who liked it really liked it, but it's not exactly like a classic, right? Number 47 is Hibike Euphonium, which again is kind of more fitting towards the Girls on Panzer thing of, you know, very specific to the Japanese anime community. Because, you know, as much as Hibike Euphonium was fucking fantastic, Kyoto Animation, really fucking good, both seasons were great, it's not really a series that you hear a lot of people talking about internationally. But then number 46 we have Kokokaku Kidotai, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. I'm very happy about that Ghost in the Shell is still relevant to a lot of people, and standalone complex is fucking awesome, so I'm happy about that. And then number 45 we have Bakemonogatari. So happy about that, holy shit. I was actually kind of worried that I would never see a Monogatari series up here, but Bakemonogatari made it. I'm fucking happy about that. I'll take that, guys. It's in the top 50, I'll fucking take it. And what I'm even more happier about is the fact that number 44 is Lupin Sansei Cagliostro no Shiro, which is the first Lupin III movie from 1979, directed by Miyazaki Hayao before he entered Ghibli. That is one of my favorite anime films of all time next to Akira, which is why it's really surprising that Akira is so low on the list compared to the Cagliostro no Shiro, which is so high up on this list. But I can't complain. Cagliostro no Shiro is a fucking phenomenal anime film. If you're a fan of Ghibli, and if you're a fan of Miyazaki's work, then you need to check out this movie. And the next three, I can't really complain and or argue against. Number 43 is Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Number 42 is the first season of Suzumiya Haruhi. Number 41 is first season of K-On! All three of these are from that golden era between 2006 to 2010. All of them I really enjoyed. I mean, it's those series that like not only the Japanese community likes, but also the international community likes, so I can't complain about that. Then number 36 we have Natsume Yujincho. Now I haven't actually seen Natsume Yujincho yet. I am aware of its existence, I just never had the time to check it out. And I know there are a lot of people internationally who are like really big into Natsume Yujincho, and I'm honestly not surprised that it is also big in Japan, but I didn't think it would be this big in Japan. I didn't think it would be in the top 50, in all honesty. But number 35 is Steins Gate. Now again, this is where like that big difference between the international community and the Japanese community comes along, because Steins Gate, again, for the longest time was like number 2 or number 3 on my anime list. But the fact that it is high up on this list just goes to show how critically successful it is and how there are a lot of diehard fans of it. And hey, Steins Gate I thought was fucking amazing too, so I'm glad to see it's at 35. But then again, number 34, Cowboy Bebop. Like, again, it just goes to show that biggest difference of the international and Japanese community, because like Cowboy Bebop, if you look at it internationally, it's just one of those anime that like even people who don't watch anime know of. But to know that, you know, Love Live Sunshine, a spin-off or series of Love Live, is above Cowboy Bebop is like, what the fuck, Japan? That just goes to show how different it is. Because then we have series like number 32, Prince of Tennis, number 31, Bungo Stray Dogs, and number 30, Shoujo Kakume Utena. Prince of Tennis I really enjoyed, so I can't complain about that. Bungo Stray Dogs is fresh in everybody's minds, and a lot of female audiences enjoyed it. And Shoujo Kakume Utena is 1997, but is just like so many die-hard fans of it, and is one of those like very like important anime, I think, in anime history. You know, similarly, Uchu Senkan Yamato at number 29 from 1974 is again a very important anime in anime history, and definitely a lot of the older generation are huge fans of that, so again, can't complain there. But then this is where it gets really interesting. Number 28 is Attack on Titan, the first season, and number 27 is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now it says Full Metal Alchemist there, but that's the Japanese title of it. That's really so interesting that, like, of course, you know, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood are huge shows, not only internationally, but also in Japan, but they're not as good as what the international community deems it to be. Like, they're not in the top 10. They're not even in the top 20. Because number 25 is blowing my mind. Hyoka. That's like an anime that nobody I know talks about. I mean, it's fucking awesome, Kyoto Animation and everything, but I never would have thought Hyoka would have been as high as it is. I mean, it's bigger than Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in Japan. Some of you might be like, what the fuck? That's really stupid of Japan to think that, but I just think that's super fucking interesting. I mean, Hyoka is fucking fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I never thought it would be in the top 100. No fucking way. And here's where I start to get triggered. Number 21 is Clan Out After Story. I really fucking thank the Japanese community for that. I'm glad that the Japanese community sees how fucking awesome Clan Out After Story is. But then right on top of that is fucking Sword Art Online. Oh, I can't hide my triggeredness. But again, I can't blame the Japanese anime community for that. I mean, if anything, like, I was expecting Sword Art Online to be this high up. I wasn't expecting Clan Out After Story to be this high up. So I'm just at least glad that Clan Out After Story is almost in the top 20. Now we're approaching the top, and number 19 is Psycho Pass. That's also very interesting to see. Number 18 is the original Digimon Adventures from 1999. Makes a lot of sense. It's a cult, it's a cult classic. Number 17 is the original Gundam from 1979. Again, totally makes a lot of sense. And then we have number 16 is Gochumon Usagi desu ka Season 1. On top of Gundam. Really goes to show how powerful Moe is in the Japanese otaku community. And then number 15 is Code Geass Season 2. Are we gonna see Code Geass Season 1 at the top? Because that would be very interesting. Number 14 is Shinseki Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion. I mean, again, cult classic in the anime community. Number 13, which is a big surprise to me, Ginga Eiyu Densetsu, Legend of the Galactic Heroes from 1988. What I think is really interesting about this is that, one, it is a very old anime. It's almost a 30-year-old anime, but not only is it high up on the Japanese anime community's list, but it's also really high up on the international community. I think Legend of Galactic Heroes is like in the top, at least in the top 20 or top 15 on my anime list, as well as this list. Like, in this list especially, it managed to beat Gundam. I mean, that just goes to show how fucking amazing it is, and it is fucking amazing. It's like almost a 10 out of 10 anime for me and for a lot of people. But then number 12, we have Joker Game. What? I thought I was the only one who even remotely enjoyed Joker Game when I did my seasonal roundup of it, because nobody else really fucking talked about it internationally. But it's number 12. I mean, Joker Game was good, but not as good as Legend of the Galactic Heroes or Evangelion. I mean, it only just got beaten by the first season of Gintama at number 11. That is easily the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. That is the most what the fuck thing I've seen. Joker game being at number 12. But I mean, hey, at least Gintama got 11, so I'm happy about that. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, top of the list, the top 10 greatest anime series from all of anime according to the Japanese anime community. Here we go. At number 10 is Osomatsu-san from 2015. That does not surprise me at all. Osomatsu-san is huge. It's all over Japan. I mean, you know, it is fucking hilarious. It is based off an Akatsuka Fujio manga series, which, you know, he's like the godfather of comedy anime. But, man, it really just goes to show how powerful it is right now, especially in the female audience. Number 9. Not surprised, Love Live, the school idol movie from 2015. Love Live is like the Jesus of the anime community in Japan right now. It is unfucking beatable. Number 8 is the original Cardcaptor Sakura series from 1998. I'm totally okay with that. Cardcaptor Sakura is a classic. A lot of people loved it in Japan. A lot of people loved it and grew up with it internationally. Number 7, big surprise to me, is the original first season of Code Geass from 2006. I mean, Code Geass is fucking phenomenal, but I didn't think it would be this high up on the list because it's kind of old. I don't know if the news of a, you know, Code Geass Season 3 was the reason why it kind of resurfaced the hype for Code Geass at this particular time, but wow, it's really interesting to see that Code Geass is number fucking 7. And then number 6 is, again, a huge fucking surprise to me. Tiger and Bunny: The Beginning, the movie for Tiger and Bunny from 2012. I've never seen Tiger and Bunny before, and I think there are a lot of people watching this video who have never seen Tiger and Bunny either, but it's really, like, wow. That is like, that's how you know, like, Tiger and Bunny is such a Japan-specific anime. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who are watching this like, oh, I fucking love Tiger and Bunny, but I don't really know any of my friends who watched or, you know, enjoyed or even watched Tiger and Bunny, let alone the movie for Tiger and Bunny. And then, this is where the big plot twist happens. Number 5 and number 4 is Season 1 and Season 2 of Love Live. I thought for fucking sure this would be the top 2, but it's at number 5 and number 4. Number 3, very big surprise to me, Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica from 2011. It was a huge, like, punch of, like, refreshment in the anime community back in 2011, but I never would have thought it'd be this high up. I thought one of the movies would, like, I mean, we saw, like, you know, some of the movies on the list, but, like, never would have thought, like, it would be this high up. Because the biggest plot twist here, number 2 is Tiger and Bunny, The Rising movie from 2011, and number 1 greatest anime series of all time, according to the Japanese modern anime community, is Tiger and Bunny. What the actual shit? Look, I'm gonna reserve judgment about Tiger and Bunny because I've never seen it before, I don't even know what the fuck it's about. Because 2011 was, you know, during that time where I was kind of away from anime and I missed a lot of anime from 2011. So, now that I'm seeing that, you know, Tiger and Bunny, 3 different versions of Tiger and Bunny are in the top 10 on this list, wow. I don't know, I guess I have to go and check out Tiger and Bunny and see why it's so good. But yeah, Jesus Christ, Japanese anime community, you are a lot different from the international anime community, I'll tell you that much. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that was the top 100 greatest anime series of all time according to the Japanese anime community. What did you guys think? I'm sure there are a lot of opposing opinions. I will leave the full list in the description below. Mind you, it is all in Japanese though, so you might not be able to read some of them, and I gave most of them in this video, but, you know, go ahead, go check out all the ones that I did mention. Let me know about any of the entries in the comments below, and hey, like, you know, maybe give your opinions on that, like, whole difference between what the international community deems as great versus what the Japanese community deems as great. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, like and favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe for more anime banner, and I'll see you guys next video, whatever I make. Keep watching anime. Ta-da!